October the 2nd, 2023. Guys, I haven't did a video over the weekend. Friday we were doing some fence work, trying to, and it got really hot and humid after that rain Thursday, and so October the 2nd, 2023. Guys, over the weekend, got a little under the weather, hadn't done a video, had to do some fence work, and had a little head cold, and then Friday and Saturday got way too hot, and that just turned into a fever. So I was just trying to maintain over the weekend. Couldn't really put it together and do a decent video. Feeling a little better today. We took it easy yesterday afternoon, taking some stuff for this, whatever this head cold is. But guys, what we're looking at is a sudden change in the winter forecast. It says now, meteorologists forecast a cold front to sweep parts of the lower 48 in weeks. This changed September 28th, almost overnight, right here, right there, guys. And this is from BAMX, and they do, or BAMWX, they do weather forecasting, I think, for insurance companies, different people like that, different clients that they have. And so they really try to be accurate. And they talk about it in the first of this article, that it was a lot of climate hysteria over the summer about the heat, and they were saying hottest days here and there and all. And a lot, we've seen that year after year, some scientists overhyping things that the agenda tells them to hype. But let me say this. I don't care what the media says. I don't care what the government says. I lived through one of the hottest summers of my life. This summer, we were catching heat indexes from 122 to 132 here on two different weather stations that I have that are not tied to any internet that can be manipulated or anything else. Now, I don't know what happened to the rest of the nation. Here in central Mississippi, it was the hottest one I can remember ever. And although it was a misery going through back surgery in that heat, one thing that happened before surgery, guys, was that I really wasn't able to do anything for almost a year because I was putting off surgery and I didn't want to go into the hospital in the middle of the COVID crisis and all of that mess. But what I was unable to do was, for the first time in at least over 20 years, I didn't plant a garden here because I wasn't able to maintain it. It was a blessing because all the gardens around here burn up. I mentioned friends are selling their horses and livestock, getting rid of them because you can't even get hay here in central Mississippi now. The hay that the farmers were growing for their cattle and horses dried up. It was rough. Hottest ones I remember. I hope I never have to go through another one, but we'll just have to see this summer. But on the 28th, BAMX changed. It says now meteorologists forecast a cold front to sweep parts of the lower 48 in weeks. Private weather forecaster BAMWX, we have been talking about an October cold front for weeks in our videos to clients. Overnight data took a major turn to cool. And they put together charts from three different services, the EPS, the GEFS, and the GFS. And that's what you're seeing here. Now, this is September 28th when everything changed as far as the forecast. And for the 1 to 5 day departure from normal temperatures, right here, guys. 1 to 5 days. Like I said, it got much hotter and humid over the weekend. But you can see this is EPS, GEFS, and the GFS, guys, Global Forecast System, still has the heat into the south here. We felt it. I promise you we did. 6 to 10 day forecast, you start to see some of that warmer air concentrate in the northeast. See these red areas here and the lighter grays. 6 to 10 days out from the 28th. The day's the 2nd, so we're really 6 days out from this forecast. And you can see EPS, everything's pulling north as far as heat. And look at this from the Global Forecast System. Look how much change it is. These are the departure from normal temperatures during this period. Look at the southeast. I'm loving it. But, guys, I guess the main thing I'm talking about in this video, or the main point that I would like to emphasize, if we have a record winter like they're talking about possibly, are you prepared for that? Is the grid prepared for it? Or do you possibly have wood-burning heat? If you don't, looking at this information, you may want to think about it now before there's a run on it and there's a run on firewood. But there's small wood burning heaters, guys. I've had one for 22 or 23 years, same little double eye wood burner, and it has been a lifesaver many times. Over the winter, it cuts your power bill way down, and then when we had the ice storm a few years ago come out of Texas, it saved us because there was no power. Now, if we go to the 11 to 15 day departure, which is basically 11-day departure now in the temperature schedules, look at this right here. This is a GEFS and GFS. This is amazing that within the next 10 or 11 days, we're going to see this much difference in the temperature. And it's not only BAM at the WX.com, it's the Farmer's Almanac saying the same exact thing. Sudden change, unexpected, because of the warmer waters of El Nino. They haven't cooled off in the Pacific. And this chart, same folks, represents the data changes. Notice that up there, and this is what they've changed it to since the 28th. EPS has got not a lot of changes here. You see a little more on GEFS and the global forecast system for 1 to 5 days, which we are now at the 5th day. It is a little cooler this morning. 6 to 10 days, this is the difference. You get into the purple, blue, it's colder, right? Here, GEFS and the global forecast system here. They're also talking about not just colder, but wetter and more snow. 11 to 15-day change all the way into Mexico, the differences. This is a 15-day change in temperatures versus 12 hours ago. From on the 28th, in a 12-hour period, this changed. Now, the GFS is not showing that drastic of a change, but each of these always average together. It says major cold trends across all of the model data last night. It says one of the biggest flips in model guidance we've seen in a long time, and it would increase the threat of frost freeze the second week of October for the Midwest, Great Lakes, northeastern U.S. Major cold trends across all of the model data last night. One of the biggest flips in model guidance we've seen in a long time, and it would increase, again, the threat of frost freeze in the second week of October. In a separate forecast, meteorologist Spencer Denton of Action 5 News in Memphis forecast a similar cold blast around October the 10th, 8 days away. There are signs of our first decent fall cold front arriving October 10th. How cool or cold is still in question. They say telling you to stay tuned. And I will link to the article, and you can go and read some of the details or more in depth if you'd like. But it's saying the climate forecast system model is highlighting the Carolinas and much of the southeastern U.S. for well below normal temperatures this winter. Also, Peter Geiger, editor of the Farmer's Almanac, in an August 19th weather note, and this was before the September 28th. Remember that the burr is coming back. We expect more snow and lower temperatures nationwide. Now, this is also information from the Farmer's Almanac this year, 2023 through 2024. And I notice here you can scan, you can get the printed information, or you can get it on your phone, guys. Check that out. Seasonably cold and wet in the northwest. Wintry temps, seasonable stormy here in the southwest. Midsection cold, average snowfall in the southeast. Unseasonably cold and stormy. Over in the Gulf southeast, chilled, wet, cold and stormy here. Frosty, flaky, and slushy. As further you get up into the northeast, we kind of expect that. Cold and snowy. And it's saying the burr is back. Now, they were kind of warning about it in August. Then on the 28th of September, some of the other major people started paying attention to what was going on. And what we are seeing is a chaos in climate, not man-made, but we were told things would happen. Men would be burnt by heat. There would be storms and floods, rumors of wars. And guys, if you're not paying attention to warnews247.gr, you have no clue what's going on with World War III on the edge. And really, most people in Europe already say that World War III has started. Things are changing very quickly. My point again here is look around you. Are you depending on electric heat only or gas heat only, with gas skyrocketing in prices because of Bidenomics? On purpose, by the way. If you're not prepared, you're going to get caught off guard. So start looking into alternative heating methods. The best I know of is a wood burner. Even if you got solar power, it will central heat or something like that would drain it very quickly because you're usually using 220 and a lot of power. But guys, just look at your alternatives. I honestly believe that the wood burners will be the trick. I know in some cities, even in Alaska, that you can't burn a wood fire in your fireplace or your wood burning heater because they're saying the pollution from the smoke is too great. And I guess you can see their point in some ways. If you're in a compact major city and you don't have much wind, you're in a valley or something like that, all of that does get trapped. But guys, if it gets that bad to where we're losing power like we did in the ice storm come out of Texas, if the police come to your door complaining about the wood smoke, ask them to come on in and have a warm cup of coffee and sit down and warm their feet. And I imagine that they will not be bothering too many people, unless you're really in a libtarded city, which we are covered with them. I understand that. But, guys, it's going to be a crucial situation. We just saw major flooding in New York, and it's all over the internet. The cars were being washed down. It was terrible. And will we see more of that, but with cold, ice, sleet, snow, flooding this winter? We got to pay attention to it. There's a lot of homeless people out there. There's a lot of immigration coming across the southern border. New York says they're full. They can't take any more. Buses are still going out from the southwest. We don't know what's going to happen on the border. You can't trust a politician any further than you can throw them these days. But you can trust your instincts and be prepared. Guys, working on the Emerald tablets. Again, I was just down this weekend, couldn't do anything. But it's getting better now. But we're watching this. You watch it. Look for the link below. I may also link to the wood burner heaters that I know about. The least expensive of the ones that will at least do a good job and last a long time. But I do that every winter. We'll look and see what we've got. Also, they've got little propane stoves like for camping, or they even can come inside now that will run from the green bottles that you see, the small propane bottles. Those can get you properly prepared for a few weeks without freezing to death. But we're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.